Hi Pisces, this is Stella. If you are returning, welcome back. And if you are brand new, welcome to Love Evolution. This video is going to be for September 2018. Obviously for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, really anywhere you have it in your chart. This is for the energy of Pisces. My fellow fishies, I am a Pisces Sun. As always, all my readings are channeled with the intention to provide you with the information, clarity, and insight that you need in order to make the choices that are most aligned with your highest good. Okay? These readings are part of my divine expression, and so I am just so honored to be able to share my gift and offer clarity to you guys. In that way, it is a co-creation, and my encouragement to you is always to take the messages that resonate and apply them to your own unique situation. You know yourself best, right? At the end of the month, I will be launching my website, which I'm super excited about. It's been a long time coming, and I'm really excited to be able to offer these readings, to the public, to you guys. So if that's something you're interested in, I will post a link in next month's videos. But if you would like to be updated on that and you would like to get a personal reading from me, you can send me an email and just request that I put you on the list, and I'll send that out as an announcement to everyone. I do have a list. All of you guys who got free readings throughout the last couple months, I will send you an update as well. So I think that's about it. The main part of the reading is done with the Morgan Greer Tarot here. If I need to pull clarity, I pull from the regular Rider-Waite. Your challenge and guidance is done with the Chrysalis Tarot. The more I work with this deck, the more I love it. Archangel guidance at the end, as well as a power animal. The power animal is your totem for the month. So it's going to be, the message. The animals may pop up in your life, or you may, see them on the TV, see images of them, throughout your month. And they're meant to just, remind you to tune back in with yourself and the specific, message that they deliver. Okay. So when I was tuning in to our energy, and I had to do us first because we just had this major Pisces full moon, and we are in our opposing sign Virgo season now. I think this summer has been kind of a whirlwind for a lot of people. Pisces in particular, it feels like this has been our year, right? Like, many of us have had a lot of struggles in the previous years, a lot of traumas, a lot of, just things to work through, right? And this year, 2018, we're finally able to, kind of put the pieces together and utilize, the pain and what we've learned from that and channel it into a positive form moving forward. It's, different for everybody, but I think that theme plays out in a lot of people's, lives. So the image I get for us is, I'm laughing because I always do like a Finding Nemo reference for us, but it's different this time. It's like a water spout, like a tornado, right? And it's coming down over the ocean, and it's swirling, and it sucks up all the water, and then it gets kind of like pulled, the atmospheric, whatever, the heat coming off the land pulls the tornado, and it dumps the water on the land. So the metaphor for that is like first of all, getting sucked up into the air, right? That metaphor of like, almost like being propelled to a different and higher consciousness, state of awareness, okay? Your spirituality, your connection to, source is at a entirely different level, okay? But then coinciding with Virgo season is all about, the details, really ironing things out, getting down to the, setting the routine, the schedule, getting done what we need to get done, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, doing it right the first time. And that's difficult. That can be difficult for us, depending on whatever, what other influences you have in your chart. But, so the point is this raising in awareness, this spiritual, being taken to a higher level and then dumped on the ground, right? You may find yourself, as a result of all this inspiration you've had, in a sort of a new environment. You look around and, your environment could be the same, your physical environment, but things are different. You're in a different place. You have different goals, different motives, and the need to really figure out a routine that works for you, cross the T's, dot the I's, really just not buckle down, but just make sure you do things, right. Make sure you think about it before you do it. Make sure you're aligned before you do it. Make sure, you take care of the part that you can take care of, right? While you're in this sort of transition, you're in this new environment, you're in this new place, right? You were plucked out of your comfort zone and now you've been, deposited or thrown down into like new territory. Now, this new territory is going to be extremely fertile for you. It's the stuff of your dreams. It's what you've been working for the last few months, years even. It's really coming, to a culmination. But it's important to take your time this month, in September, to really figure out that routine and make the details, pay attention to the details, okay? Because right now you're setting the foundation moving forward. Okay. We'll see how that ties in. Pisces. Knight of Pentacles. Pisces, September. What does Pisces most need to know for their highest good in September? Pisces. And the Hanged Man. Okay, so a little bit of hesitation. Conflicting ideas a little bit. Definitely an awareness of a karmic cycle coming to an end and starting anew. We just finished this whole eclipse season, retrograde season. Mars and Mercury are now direct again. Giving you that motivation and that fire again, okay? The last few months were a lot about reflection, and I think Pisces actually kind of thrived in that environment because, we're able to really, like I said, delve into the spiritual, realm of things. But now with Mars going direct, you're going to start to feel that push. Combine that with our full moon, bringing things to a close. And Virgo season needing to be very detailed, right? So, this little scenario going on above. Arguments with others, okay? A battle of words or thoughts. Perhaps you have been fighting for something and then you realized, it wasn't really worth it in the end with the Five of Swords. That could be a lesson that's coming up for you. Karmic cycles, judgment. One cycle ending and a new cycle beginning. Hanged Man, feeling a little bit, stuck, a little bit hesitant, a little bit, your environment hasn't quite shifted yet to catch up with where you are mentally. But what I always say about this card, in the traditional tarot, he has a halo around his head. Okay, and you see one of his legs is, obviously his environment is not very conducive for him, right? But with the halo around his head, he knows, he has divine faith. He knows that everything is going to be okay regardless of, what it looks like on the outside. So although he is, and then even look at his body position, right? Although he is, hung, although he is immobilized at the moment, right? He's in a waiting phase. He's unbothered because he has greater faith, okay? And then we have this Knight of Pentacles reversed. So, you've done some work. You've already set, in the previous months, it became evident that you've already set, some foundation for your goals already. A lot of your dreams, you're starting to actually put the physical practices in place and do the physical things. But for some reason, you're feeling a little bit stalled. You're feeling like you can't serve. You feel like you can't do what's needed to get the physical tasks done. There's some element of stalling in that. Recent past bounty. I mean, yeah, beautiful. Like, it doesn't get any better. Okay. Recent past, Ten of Pentacles. Understanding, appreciating your wealth with, this is like combined wealth. Okay, but it's also the pinnacle of, so it doesn't have to be like marriage and a home. It certainly can be, like finally realizing that dream, but it's also just like when you can look around and go, I'm finally in like a stable, supportive place where, all of my physical needs are provided for. I'm provided for materially. It doesn't mean you don't have worries about financial or anything, but like if you really stop and think about it, you have everything you need. And it's wonderful. So you're coming in, from Leo time of year, from August to September, with that realization on the mind. You are working hard towards a higher ideal. This is that dream, Pisces. This is that, you see how he's working in a church, okay? And 3 is a number of the first fruits, okay? So the first results of all your hard work. So a church is obviously represents like a higher ideal, right? So this man is doing physical, real, tangible work, day-to-day work. He comes to work every day and, hammers and nails and does all that. To complete or to manifest in the physical something that represents a higher ideal. You're doing the work towards your dreams, Pisces. You're doing it. I'm going to tie in a minute with the scenario that's going on up here, because the only thing I don't like about this spread is the this Knight of Pentacles reversed, and I'm not sure why you're feeling unable to move forward. Actually, I am, because it's Virgo season, okay? Earth sign, okay? Earth, Pentacles. This, I don't think it's somebody in your life. I think it could be an earth sign in your life that you've been having an argument with. It could definitely be an earth sign in your life, okay? He's showing up as the knight. He's showing up as sort of ineffective, sort of, rather than like serving a cause, he's almost like sabotaging. He's almost, he's making it more difficult to maintain financially and to feel prosperous and, all of that. And also a battle of words, okay? But more than that, because we've got judgment in between these two also. It shows up like this. Do you see all the yellow and the red? Red, base chakra, survival. Yellow, willpower, okay? So with judgment in between, it adds kind of a karmic factor where you're like, and then you're kind of stuck. So, okay, I'm going to read this two ways. Do you have a partner? Do you have an earth sign partner or a Virgo or an earth sign in your life who, who's just sort of out of sorts right now? They're working against you rather than with you, right? If a knight serves a cause, then in reverse, it's like going against that cause or sabotaging it, or not, doing the opposite of Virgo season, not dotting your I's, not crossing your T's, not doing what needs to get done. And then we have this battle. You see the smirk on this guy's face. So he's won at all costs, right? It's like he didn't care what he had to do to win. He's smiling. And these other people have like thrown down their swords like, fine, take it, it's not worth it. So is this him? And you're just kind of like, it's not worth it to me to do this, but you understand that it's a karmic situation, and that's what's got you kind of, on the fence about it. Either that scenario, or it's you personally, because we are in Virgo season. This earth energy is the exact opposite of Pisces, right? It's the exact opposite of the divine. Virgo's, my father was a Virgo. He's passed away now, but he was a Virgo. And he actually gave me like my first understanding of spirituality, not religion, but like a personal connection with that divine, right? But Virgos tend to go about it in a more structured way, right? So like reading the Bible, or, whichever book of, whichever deity you believe in, right? But going about it in a sort of structured way like that. But they are very spiritual in their own way. It's almost like, it reminds me of the love languages, right? The 5 love languages. Some people need to be told I love you. Some people need to be given gifts. Some people give gifts to express their love. Some people caretake, right? They clean up around the house, and they, maybe they fix your shelf, or maybe they, do some work on your car or something like that. And that's their way of showing love. So that's very, very different than the Pisces, flow. So if that's the case, it's just a little bit of, if this is all internal, okay, it's just a little bit of friction as we come into this season, this time of harvest. I think for you guys too, like you've been dreaming for so long. And it's almost like the fact that your dreams are starting to materialize is like, it's just blowing you out of the water, right? Like it's blowing you out of the water, like the tornado in the image, okay? It is taking you from your element of comfort and depositing you on the earth somewhere else, on the earth, the Virgo element, and you're just like, fish aren't supposed to be, and so you're flopping around, and you're just like, you haven't found your stride, okay, in this season yet. And so your routines and your the momentum that you had while everything ironically was in retrograde, because I think that's more of a comfortable place for us, right? Once there's all this pressure and this masculine energy saying go, 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 it's almost like Pisces can almost want to pull back a little bit and go, well, wait, rather than utilize that energy to move forward. So I'm going to pull a clarity on this, like clarity / advice, because I don't want you guys to be, holding back right now, because good God, like this energy is fantastic, and you guys are right at the point where, your dreams are becoming reality, and there's so much more. This is what's crossing you. So not only is it influencing you, but again, a little bit of you, it's challenging you in a little bit of a way, okay? Both it's challenging you, like you're like, oh wow, there's a whole wide world of new possibilities, and you're almost wanting to get scared and pull back again. But then on the other hand, it's the universe saying, Yes, Pisces, there's a whole wide world of opportunities. Are you ready to embrace it? You've been waiting all this time. You deserve it, you know? Um, Fantastic energy. I mean, literally all you have to do is just embrace it right now. Death reverse, new beginning. Yeah, exactly, Pisces. Very interesting that it came up as this and not, like, say, the Fool, okay? Major Arcana, okay? But what is the opposite of death, right? Death reverse. What is the opposite of death? Birth, new beginning, new, like, I just feel so giddy and happy for us right now because it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, literally all you have to do is believe in yourself right now. If you believe in the divine, like Pisces is a very I believe sign, right? Turn that focus from, you know, um, your faith and your support in the divine. I mean, continue that, but turn the lens to the internal, okay? Believe in yourself that much. Because when you do that, you know, I mean, look, the world is your oyster, okay? You're already doing the work towards a higher ideal. You're just a little bit stalled. Why are you stalled? Because it's a brand new beginning and you've already made, you're not the Page of Wands, you're the Knight of Wands, but you're in reverse, right? So you already did the preliminary work. You already laid the groundwork. You've already taken physical steps and now you're like, "Oh boy, like it's really real. It's really getting real now." You know, I'm going to have to commit. Pisces is going to have to commit, right? To your dreams. Okay? I mean, what better thing to have to commit to? But I understand it's scary. You know, and it's got us, you at this, you know, hanged man place, okay? You understand, but see, unbothered, like there's not a better card. You're unbothered, but you're also like, you know that you're standing still, but you're just like, you have so much faith that you're okay with just hanging out because you're not quite comfortable yet to move forward. But I'm telling you, this Mars energy is so, so powerful, Pisces. So, so yeah, you're a little bit hesitant. It is a brand new karmic cycle. Sorry about that. It is a brand new karmic cycle. It is a brand new beginning. But you know what? It's the stuff of your dreams. And I said this in some of the videos before. Sorry. But very often, right when we get to the point where things are starting to manifest and they're starting to become tangible and real, that's when the ego pipes up the loudest with all those fears and all those doubts that you've been working so hard to overcome, right? And Papa Legba just flew out here, so we're going to read that. But it's when the ego starts to pipe up and say, no, you're not good enough, or, you don't have the skills to handle that. All of those sorts of things. But it's only happening because, your subconscious, just like your conscious, understands that things are changing. You're at the point of, you can't go back because what you're moving towards is so much better and so much greater. Okay? So that can be a little bit of a hurdle for everyone, but just remember what you're working towards. Remember why you're doing it. Challenge and guidance, please. Challenge and guidance for Pisces. When I was fixing the camera, I had Papa Legba pop out, and that's the Strength card. Queen of Stones, perfect. Okay, please, 2 more. Strength and challenge. Papa Legba is the Strength card. Inner strength, okay? Using your connection with the divine to derive confidence, okay? And that sense of power and strength. I want to do that there. Challenge, guidance. Okay. So your challenge. Let me finish actually this first, and then we'll complete that. So, like I said, you're coming into September appreciating all the abundance and the wealth in your life, okay, and those around you. You are presently working towards a higher ideal. The world is crossing you, okay? So you have all opportunities available to you. Universe is both challenging you to step out and take those opportunities, and you're also a little bit it's challenging you, okay, in the sense that, you're like, wow, now it's real. And it can be a little bit scary. Above on your mind, we have the Empress. I mean, your mind, since Mercury went direct again, you're set mentally on creation, abundance, fertility, birthing new opportunities. The Empress is Mother Earth. She is the one who creates. She is the fertile feminine power, okay? And this is what's on your mind. I mean, creating, right? Subconsciously, even your subconscious isn't working against you. So what I get from your subconscious is actually supporting you with this Queen of Rods, okay? Inspiration. Your subconscious, what's influencing you from behind your awareness, okay, is divine inspiration. The wands are motivation, fire, inspiration, okay? So what this means is that you're generally, like, most of the time, the subconscious is fighting us, right? Because consciously, especially when we want change, the conscious mind sets a goal, right? But the subconscious mind searches its database, right? The subconscious holds all information you've ever learned your entire life from the day you were born. And it searches and it searches, and it finds no match to your dreams, right? Because they're new. It's something you've never experienced. And so the subconscious job is its job is to try to keep you safe, okay? So then what it does is start throwing little ego, you can't do it, or it's not safe, or, you don't have the skills. You'll never, all these negative self-defeating thoughts. In its own way, it's trying to protect you, okay? But this is like the monkey mind that they talk about in, Buddhism. It's never quiet. It's never satisfied. It's never at peace. So if you use it as your guidance, you're going to be just running this way and that way, and that's the wheel of karma, right? Whether you believe that it's like lifetime after lifetime you're stuck reliving life over and over and over until you learn the lesson, or whether you just look at it in in a single lifetime, you're constantly running in circles like a hamster on a wheel. Your subconscious right now, Pisces, is aligned with you. It's taking the inspiration that you've received, it's receiving it just right now, okay? The queen is the one, she's feminine, she's the one that receives. So all this dreaming and all this work you've been doing, affirmations, whatever, meditations, everything you've been doing to align, with your goals, okay, is paying off because it's getting to your subconscious right now. Your subconscious is just starting to receive it, okay, in a feminine way. And from that blossoms, okay? It's so beautiful. Like creation on your mind, subconscious backing you up. And then in your future here, full commitment to your future. Full commitment. Do you see how his back is turned to us? He's no longer looking at the past. He has integrated and utilized his past, right? And he's going to use it, his experiences, moving forward. But he's focused on the forward, right? He's not contemplating. He's not deciding. He knows what he wants. And now he's ready to go for it. And he has the motivation and the fire, the number 3, the first fruits, right? And the wands are fire and inspiration. So, taking that inspiration, he's ready to step out and start that journey, right? No longer on the fence. No longer hesitant. Starting a new chapter where your karma is yours to create. You're not carrying baggage from the past. He's no longer looking at the past, okay? It's beautiful. I'm sorry, I have to pick up those cards real quick. What did we have? What did we have fly out? Chariot. And Page of Pentacles, okay? So, brand new material start, balancing your positive and negative experiences to move forward. Chariots pull you forward, right? So harnessing the bad and the good, the dark and the light to propel you forward towards your dreams. And then the Page of Pentacles is, again, your new start, just reinforcing it, okay? The only thing that's challenging you, it's not even really a challenge, okay? Challenge, Two of Mirrors. Is there somebody in your life, a love offering or an emotional connection that, do you see, and see it's upright? So this is a positive connection, right? But what is, see how they're swans? What do swans do? They mate for life. So are you attached to somebody and you can't figure out how to both move forward and maintain this relationship at the same time? That's very possible. You can't see how it could possibly, how you could possibly live your dreams and embrace this, relationship, or nurture this relationship at the same time. But the thing is, the world, all possibilities, you don't know until you can try, until you try. All you can do is your best moving forward, right? So, and then your advice is the Nine of Stones reversed, okay? So, very clear. Do you see how, okay, stones are obviously the earth element, the physical material things in your life. This is also, if you do have an earth sign who is, showing up like this, see how she's walking away? Okay? And in the reverse, do you see how this is like she's built, she's put these stones here, right? But it's not like an actual building. It doesn't serve a purpose. It's just, it's kind of, it has meaning to her, right? But it's a pile of rocks, for lack of a better word, okay? So if she's having to walk away from what she's built, then what is the opposite of that? Walking towards what you have yet to build, okay? Not just the foundations, because you've already laid the foundations, but the actual physical, tangible, church, the higher ideal that you're working towards, okay? It's beautiful. And then these two popped out. The Artiste, Queen of Stones, again, earth element, okay? Queen of Stones, taking divine inspiration and making it real and tangible. What does an artist do? They take divine inspiration and they make it real and tangible through whichever medium they choose, right? And then Papa Legba, using, if you need tools, see all the tools around him? If you need meditation, if you need candles, if you need, affirmations, those are all wonderful things to help get the subconscious, in line with your dreams, and work through any hesitation you have to move forward. Yeah, it's a big world, Pisces, but I mean, gosh, there's so much more waiting for you, and you're right there. You're right there. So, nurture that connection. That connection also, strength, in the traditional tarot, the strength card is a woman with a lion, okay? And the metaphor in that is using your intuitive, calm, quiet strength, okay? Not the kind of strength where you go out there and, you know, not the kind of strength that like a warrior has, right? But the calm, intuitive, centered strength that connection with the divine provides, okay? I mean, it doesn't really get any better. Two of Cups again, top of the deck. You've got some sort of love situation going on, Pisces. Many of you might be dealing with a new lover, and it's challenging your ability to, you're like, well, shoot, if I, yeah, because 2 is also like, I mean, obviously it's a lower number, right? So where the 6 of Cups is like a more developed connection or offer of love, the 2 is like the beginning, right? So these are the same card. You know, perhaps you have somebody new coming into your life and you're not quite sure how it's going to fit into your larger dreams, okay? Oh my gosh, Pisces. And then top of the deck on this deck, Lovers reversed again. Are you kidding me? So, you know, Two of Cups twice and Lovers reversed. I think that's exactly it. You're not see how this has a divine element to it, right? This is like an earthly connection. This has a divine element to it, okay? The two archetypal man and woman, right? You're not seeing how this relationship is fitting into the greater divine, you know? You feel the divine and the inspiration in your life personally, and that's excellent, Pisces. But I think you're not quite sure maybe how this love relationship fits. But, I mean, you have to just continue to move forward, you know, to find out. And, I mean, you've got the world crossing you, right? All opportunities available. Brand new cycle. Okay? So, let's pull your Archangel. What's the Archangel guidance for Pisces, please, for September? All is well, Pisces. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. All is well. You're on the right path. Everything's happening how it should. And, you know, if you are a little stuck up with this lover, or it's a little bit of a sticky situation, don't worry about it, because again, there's a hidden blessing to it all, okay? Take this Virgo season in your own time, okay? But don't lose the motivation to move forward with this Mars energy we've got. You know, allow that energy to propel you towards your dreams, okay? And it can involve, the thing is, when we allow universe to like bring it to us and we have faith, generally what we get is so much better than what we could have even dreamed for, right? Because as you know, our human minds we can't take into account everything, and universe knows what the greatest good for all is, okay? And so if you just have, you know, some faith in that, and you continue to work to bring that divine inspiration into the physical, there's so many hidden blessings yet to be revealed, okay? Butterfly. Transformation, Pisces. Get ready for a big breakthrough. I mean, I can't say it any better than that. You've been doing the work. You're on the verge. It's becoming real, okay? You've been in the chrysalis. You have done the metamorphosis, and now you're just cracking out of that chrysalis, and you're the little butterfly with the wings that are still wet. And you're looking out at the big world and you're going, oh my God, it's so big, what do I do? you know, and you're kind of internally, you're freaking out a little bit. But once you spread your wings, my God, it's so beautiful, Pisces. Do you think the butterfly has any idea of the beauty and the vastness of, you know, the air realm that is now available to it when it first pops out of that little cocoon? It has no idea. It's got to just take off on faith, you know? How does it even know that its wings will carry it, right? Because that's what it was meant to do, okay? As humans, we're both gifted and cursed with the ability to overthink things, right? It's like we're able to be self-aware and self-analyze and all of that. And although it's a blessing, it's also can get in the way, right, of that divine flow, okay? Of that divine, just what's meant to be. So when we get on that flow and we ride that, you know, wave, it's so much more beautiful than what we could have ever imagined. And you're right there, Pisces. I'm so excited to see what October brings, because I think this year for all of us is just gonna like go out with a bang. I think you're really, this is just my guess, but I think you're really gonna start to see some financial returns and, you know, harvest in that sense in the next couple months. And I'm so excited for you guys. So you can check me out on Instagram. I am working to build my Facebook page and put some more, you know, fun content on there. But I do a daily reading on both Facebook and Instagram. I'll link it down below. I love your feedback, all of your feedback, comments, questions, suggestions. If you have a personal question, you can email me. Also, if you would like to be put on the list so that I can notify you as soon as my site is up as to when you can purchase a reading, just send me an email and I'll put your name on the list. I'm also working on some more content. I want to put out like a monthly newsletter. And I'm also working on, I'll probably announce it next month with you guys, but I'm going to be creating like more content, you know, spiritual topics, trauma. That's something I really want to help people with, trauma healing, you know, and I don't mean, I'm not a, you know, psychologist by any means, but I do have a, you know, understanding of human psychology, basic understanding, and I know what I've been through. And I want to be able to share what I know and the practices and the knowledge that have helped me. I want to share that with others to help them. So I'm starting to kind of structure and devise, and what better time than Virgo season, right, to do all that. And I'm not quite sure yet. I'm going to be putting out videos on that content. As well as my blog, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on this channel or possibly create another channel, like a sister channel. So if you have any feedback on that, let me know. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for being part of my journey, and I will see you in October.